Welcome to the off-season episode here at the end of season numero dos, number 2. We ended up being 4-13. We have the second overall pick in this NFL draft, along with two other picks, and it should be fun. Also, have free agency to go through, some contracts to renew. We also get to see who wins the Super Bowl this year, and yeah. I just am really excited to bring you guys this episode. So, if you guys do end up enjoying this episode, which I highly suggest you will, then I would consider liking the video, subscribing, and it's always available to unsubscribe, and it's free. So give me a chance. How about that? As we look at weekly awards from last week, Kevin Waddle actually returned a pick six with 11 tackles. Was not bad at all. Not too shabby. And we can go ahead and look at some of these college players I have. So basically, what I've done, I like them, and I've written down on my trusty phone here what the plan is, right? But if I go to my favorites, these are all undrafted guys. You're like, what are you doing with these guys right here? But they just look really good down the board. So I thought, hey, why not, if I could bunch up a couple of like 6th and 7th round picks, if I end up making trades, just try to sneak a 6th or 7th round in there, and I take whoever looks the best to me. So, yeah, I mean, we're kind of just gonna move along with this episode. I don't think that there's anything else to do except sim to the off season now, so we can go ahead and see who won Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and all of that fun stuff. As you see, we're down to a 77 overall, 77 offense and defense. Kevin Waddle has an upgrade after obviously a stunning year, and I'm curious. He did go up to star development, which is insanely good and nice to see. I think that we just got to keep upgrading, like run stopper, pass coverage. We're trying to make our linebackers two of the best players on the field at all times. He has another one as well. We'll go with pass coverage here. Upgrade him. He's up to a 79 overall, so that's pretty good to see. But yeah, up to star development, 23 years old, same age as Christian Harris. Yeah, I mean, these guys just look insane. 92 speed, playing up to 92 tackle, obviously not quite that high, but it's 87 just without morale, so that's crazy. But look at the Super Bowl. That is insane. Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington Commanders. Steelers end up winning by a field goal. Terrell Edmonds, I'm guessing, had an interception somewhere in there. Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. No one. No. Matthew Stafford ends up winning MVP, which is pretty good. Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller. J.D. Bailey wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Rookie of the Year, Kevin Waddle. Do really like to see that. That is very nice to see. Very good stuff. And yeah, we can go around looking at whatever. I think we'll do that actually. We'll go ahead and look at rewards. I don't know where to get that. All right, so I found whatever. I found the spot. Defensive Player of the Year. Christian Harris was number 3 in the running. That is very good to see. Been really good for us, obviously. J.D. Bailey's here. Do we have any offensive rookies of the year? We don't. Defensive Rookie of the Year, obviously, remember, went to them. Best running back, did we have anybody? Dameon Pierce-Bailey snuck in right there. Do you like to see that? I don't think that we'll have a receiver up there. Just wasn't in the Quinn Miners right there, actually. Like to see that. He had a very good season. Defensive lineman, no one really on our team would be fitting that one right there. Christian Harris, number 5 in the linebackers, and nobody else. Best DB, did we have any DBs? We did not. Kickers, don't really care. So that's just stuff. And then we can look at these stats of the year. Obviously not great stuff, but I mean, whatever. Can't really put it on these guys, but these guys are kind of the failure of the season, kind of dismantled as they weren't that great at all. Combining for 38 interceptions or 36 interceptions, my bad. Crazy. Dameon Pierce was 78 yards off of 1,000 yards, so still a very stellar season for him, averaging 5.2 per carry. Isaiah Pacheco still played really well. I think he topped 1,000 yards from scrimmage, as he was. Our 4th leading receiver had 456 yards, so did end up going for over 1,000 scrimmage on the season. So he's been really good. Defensively, Christian Harris, 120, Kevin Waddle, 115 tackles, Jalen Petrie up next. And then 19 and 15 TFLs is pretty good. CJ Gardner-Johnson actually got in the backfield quite a bit as well. And then QB sacks, Al-Quadin Muhammad led our team. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's not like great either. 8.5. Max Warwick actually had quite a few as a defensive tackle, but no tackles for losses. Not what you like to see, but Christian Harris was there as well. And interceptions, Christian Harris, Kevin Waddle both had 4. 3 of them coming in one game from Christian Harris against Deshaun Watson and the Browns. Jalen Petrie did a good job here. So, I don't know. Right now, did end up finishing the season off well. As you guys see, our total offensive rush game was at 7th in the league. And then we had the 15th best defense, I guess. But, I mean, honestly, had the 32... or had the dead last in defensive scoring. But nothing really else to do other than to advance the week to re-sign some players. I mean, we'll look through, find some guys, maybe re-sign if they want the right money. But looking in here now, Traquan Smith, don't want him. Anthony Schwartz, when he had the ball, he was okay. He's going to be a good backup wide receiver. I wouldn't end up giving him more than this. I think that this would be the final. Actually, do I even want him on this? He could be something one day, maybe. But, I mean, I don't think that we can sign him to that. It's just a lot of money. Al-Quadin Muhammad's 29. I don't really want him back. Nasreddin, same deal. We could bring Desmond King back to sign and trade him, but that's just not realistic, so I'm not willing to do that. Ike Boger as a backup defensive lineman. We'll keep you till you're 31. And I think that if he does this deal, that's awesome. And the interest in our team obviously will help us out with that deal right there. Charlie Heck, last one. Good depth, but don't really need him. Other than that, all these guys are free to go. I mean, I'm down to offer, like, if he wants to come on for 5 years and this, yeah, he's just not interested in signing. I'm not interested in signing you either. So we'll move right on to free agency and look at what the class looks like. Obviously, we have a lot of improvements that we can make as a team. And in free agency, we can maybe address a few of those needs. Nick Bosa's here, not with interest though. Sean Gary, Justin Herbert, Cam Akers is here. Someone that is very interesting at a 91 overall and 25 years of age. Trayvon Diggs is here. Jalen Johnson's 90 overall at 25. I mean, some of these guys look very interesting and intriguing, but I mean, as we just see them, they are no interest in the team. AJ Dillon might be someone, but I mean, we already have kind of Dameon Pierce, so kind of the same type of player. Jedrick Wills is here. That might be a guy that we want to bring in. But yeah, just looking at this class, it looks good, and we'll look around, see what we want and need, and kind of come up with a plan after that. So a guy I actually do like is Devin Duvernay, and I mean, we can bring him on for, I mean, this much. He's got some interest in the team. I do like that contract for him. But another guy I'm extremely interested in is Laviska Shenault. But that's the thing. He wants a little bit more money. He is a little higher overall. 25 years old, out of Colorado. He's a major playmaker, honestly. Get him on some screens, maybe put him in the slot. But I just don't know what would we do with both Duvernay and Shenault. So I think it's got to be one or the other. And I just don't think that Laviska Shenault really brings what Devin Duvernay does. And Devin Duvernay could be someone that we bring on right away. 92 excel, 93 speed, put him right into the slot. I think that he'd fit in great at 5'11". I mean, I think that, I mean, he's pretty good. 86 catching, 85 catching traffic. Spectacular catch is also pretty good. So he's got some skills, and I think that we can bring him on and kind of, you know, play him as we wish. I think that we can bring him on for like as cheap as this, honestly. I think that I'd rather try that than anything else. But Laviska Shenault might just have to wait. We can maybe find another playmaker down the board. I don't think that we'll find anyone worth much of value, if I'm being honest. Jalen Reagor here, 25 years old, 74 overall. Just not really interested. 23 overall. Anthony, or 23 year old there. But you probably could get some signings later. We'll just look down the board in like every category. Albert O's here. That's interesting in a lot of ways, but Tyler Higbee at 31, just not interested. Foster Moreau, same deal. I'm just not really interested in most of these guys. Jedrick Wills, one I was very interested in. Wouldn't have to go out of my way and draft the tackle. We can get him on like a massive deal. That would be wonderful. Let's try to bring him in on something like this. I mean, it's a big hit. I mean, with some interest in the team, maybe he can bring it down just a little bit and be okay with that. So I think that right there is an okay deal. He's already got some offers, but right now we're at the top. But at left tackle, I don't think that we can find much better anywhere else. Jonah Williams here, but it's not quite the same player. And at 27 years old, Jonah Jackson is interesting. But at the position, we already have Kenyon Green. So not someone I'm really looking to improve upon, even though I don't really like the way that he pull blocks because he just doesn't have that speed. But would go with a guy like John Runyon here, who's 27 years old only. Natane Moody. I don't know how to say that name, honestly, in all honesty. But yeah, just a few guys down the board that I'm just not looking at. Center, we're fine. We have someone. Then at right guard, Chris Lindstrom's here, but Quinn Miners is just good, so we don't need to spend money where we don't need to spend money. That's basically the grand gist of it. And then just don't see anyone really here to fit what we need. Defensive tackle, we could use one. Derek Brown's here. Derek Brown is here, and I mean, he's interesting. Very interesting. 26 years old, and I mean, he looks very good. Power move 77, but block shedding's an 86. Be a sheer run stopper. Max Warwick, the rookie, obviously didn't get any tackles for loss. Didn't really help in the interior much. I think that we have some interest in Derek Brown, but he just doesn't have interest in us, which really sucks. And he's not really that expensive, but we'd kind of have to overpay. I think that this might be the only offer I'm really willing to give. I mean, him. We're not going to get him. It's just not going to be possible. I think that we'll have to wait on a guy like that. I mean, it's just not. I'm just not going to spend all that much money right now on that sort of guy. I mean, maybe down the board, 26-year-old Tristan Hill can come make an impact. But I just don't need him to. That's the thing. And then at right end, Nick Bosa is very interesting. Probably wants the most money anyone in this free agency class, and rightfully so. And I'm not going to give him a contract. I'm just looking at what this average is up to because this would probably be something that he'd get. So he's looking at nearly, I mean, at the end of the contract, it's looking nearly $40 million a year, averaging around 35, pretty much 33 maybe. Per year. So that's pretty nuts, if you ask me. Justin Madubuike is here. I think I actually have him written down somewhere. I don't. But as a possible trade target or someone that we might want to try and acquire. But Justin Madubuike is here. Does he want that much money? It's not too much. It's not anything that I'm really risking. Especially if we bring him on for like a longer deal. I think if we give him 4 and 4 and almost 8 a year. And if he wants to come on for that, then, I mean, be my guest, honestly. I don't really have a problem with that. But do I? He's 300 pounds, could easily play inside defensive tackle. I think that we'll keep the offer on him. I think that that's okay. Sean Gary would be phenomenal, but he wants probably way too much money. I'm just not, like, as a rebuilding team, I'm just not looking to really put that much money down on someone. Like he's a car or something. Middle linebacker, can't see this void being filled. I mean, we have two really solid young linebackers that I just don't really feel like we need to address. And then at corner, we are missing Desmond King. We don't have one on the big board on the draft. We don't have one that really strikes us as a guy, but we have a few up here towards the top of the board. 3 phenomenal ones, but Trayvon Diggs is the only one that has any sort of interest. He's going to be a massive cap casualty here. If we can lower this down to this right here and he still has an okay deal and we're in the lead on him, we are. So we can even lower that a little bit. If we go to 5 years, 7 million, 6 point, just go 6 flat right there, and we'll be the only offer on him so far. So that's also looking very good. Free safety and safeties we just don't need. We don't need safety as much as they're here. I want to stick with Jalen Petrie and CJ Gardner-Johnson. I think that they complement each other wonderfully, and could use a punter actually. And I think that this one would do it right here. 5 years, 1.5, go to 500, and I'd be 100% okay with that right there. And then we'll go ahead and look at top 100. Trayvon Diggs, Jedrick Wills, Blake Gillen, obviously Justin Madubuike, and Devin Duvernay. For our first wave of free agency, we'll go ahead and evaluate the offers and signed Madubuike, Devin Duvernay, Jedrick Wills, and then we're waiting on these two right here. Gillikin, I could literally care less about. 5 years, go 1.5, and keep it at 700, and we'll see if that brings him on or if it has any, higher value or anything. And then Nick Bosa's going to the Carolina Panthers, and then some of these guys are still unsigned. Jalen Johnson back to the Bears, and that's a little interesting. Not gonna lie. In his free agency, he goes right back to his former team. Tyler Higbee and Derek Brown both gone. Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. Interesting. And yeah, we're gonna evaluate some of these offers. Basically, have Trayvon Diggs left, and then Jalen Darden. We're gonna try to bring on Colin Johnson, just as depth guys to have to replace Traquan Smith and Anthony Schwartz. Really, that's what we're doing here. Trayvon Diggs, Blake Gillikin. We'll go ahead and do that. We didn't get any of these guys. They don't have any further offers. Other than Trayvon Diggs, but we're up there with one of the top deals. But I do want to really entice, Trayvon Diggs. I think that with long-term security, we can do such things. 7 mil, and then we'll go 6.5. Big cap hit, but I think that he can play really well. Derek Stingley Jr. Would obviously play our cornerback 1 spot still, but Trayvon Diggs playing that corner 2 wouldn't be bad. Actually, I'd probably go with vice versa. I don't care really about how that all works, but go ahead and evaluate the offers for the last time. Brought in Trayvon Diggs, Blake Gillikin now is our punter, and we'll have to go ahead and advance the week to see if we can get Jalen Darden and Colin Johnson. I'll let you guys know. And did get Colin Johnson and Jalen Darden. Just guys, honestly, they don't mean much at all. 4 years and 4 years here, and they just kind of don't mean much at all. But Trayvon Diggs, awesome. Jedrick Wills, awesome. Justin Madubuike, probably play him inside. And then Devin Duvernay, I think he could be a playmaker for us, honestly. Losing some of our guys. So at the wide receiver spot, we actually don't have much at the wide receiver position, honestly. He's good. Devin Duvernay, number 13, bring him on. And 93 speed. I mean, just look at these stats right here. Very, very good. So, should be fun. We can go ahead and look around the league at some of these signings. Nick Bosa, Carolina. Rashawn Gary goes to Detroit. Justin Herbert to the New York Giants is very interesting. We're going to look for guys like Marquise Brown with 97 speed that we're going to have to go against twice a year. Chris Lindstrom actually goes to the Niners. I like that fit. L'Jarius Sneed to the Vikings. John Johnson's a Charger. I like that fit a lot too. Brandon Ayuk to the Tennessee Titans. Very interesting. Tyler Higbee. I like that. Derek Brown. Trent Brown. I don't know why I almost said Trent Williams. Shaq Thompson. Grover Stewart. Feels like a Raider, honestly. Leonard Williams. Darnell Mooney. Wow, 2 very good wide receivers. Darnell Mooney and Brandon Ayuk, both off to the Tennessee Titans. Jonah Williams also there. Laviska Shenault we're going to be going against. So a bunch of guys that I really like to see. But not going against them, honestly. All honesty. But nothing else really to do except draft some players. And before the draft starts, I'm going to be honest, I'd like to make a few trades, or at least a couple. Try to acquire some stuff. But as you see, we have the 18th overall, 25 overall, and the 2nd overall pick, so those should be fun to wheel and deal. Yeah, I mean, we'll look around and see what sort of moves we can make before the draft. And a blockbuster trade was made. I wasn't expecting to make this big of a trade that early, but listen, I know I could have gotten more than a 6th and a 7th here, but I just thought that this was very realistic, trading for a very good young receiver. Giving Sammy Watkins, Davis Mills, Greg Little on over to the Commanders for Jahan Dotson, their 6th and 7th this draft. So, dude, I can't imagine a better trade right now as we go ahead and look at our wide receiver room here. Jahan Dotson, Devin Duvernay, both new acquisitions. And then Nico Collins here as well. And then Jalen Darden, Andy Isabella, and then Colin Johnson, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, right now, I like where our receivers stand, especially with Jahan here. that just adds a whole new dynamic. All right, so I didn't really expect this to go through immediately, but basically trading Russ Blacklock, Harrison Bryant, something the Bills really need is a tight end and Russ Blacklock apparently, and then we got Tenuta for some cap reasons, but bringing in James Cook is amazing. We have someone that complements Dameon Pierce like no other. Dameon Pierce is a power drill inside. James Cook can catch the ball exceptionally well, has the speed to go after the catch. I think that those two will be a dynamic duo, which leaves questions about guys like Isaiah Pacheco and I mean just other guys. We have so many running backs right now, and they're all playable pretty much. Jerome Ford, Travis Homer is probably going to be out of here. Isaiah Pacheco gonna probably have to go. I know it's crazy to sound. I mean, he's been our offense for so long. But yeah, James Cook just never really got that opportunity in Buffalo. We're gonna bring him over here to the Texans and see if he can really bring in a long-term answer for a guy like Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, we could still keep him on until his contract really expires, but I think we already extended him to a pretty good deal, if I'm not mistaken. So we might have to make some trades along the line, but I think that'll be all the trading I'm doing for now. Just made a couple of really good moves, I think. Brought in Jahan Dotson, obviously. Then we only have Daniel Jones at quarterback, but James Cook here. And then now Jahan Dotson, Devin Duvernay, and Nico Collins. And outstanding moves in offseason so far for us. And I think we'll move into this draft now. And at 1-1, the Niners are on the clock. I paused the clock. And Zach Terrell is number 1 overall, and that would be their guy to replace Nick Bosa, who is now gone. But we're the Texans, 2nd overall pick. I think that it could be done to the point where we have to move up for the 1st overall pick. It has to happen. We need a life changer, and that is the guy that there is on the board with Zach Terrell. So we're going for that number 1 overall pick, and I will add a 4th next year, and we'll look around and see if we can find anyone that they want. But, I mean, so far, looking around, I don't think that there are many options for this team here. Rasheem Green can go if he wants, but, like, do I want him to go? Not really. Will he play a role? Maybe. But I just want to keep on to him for now. And then I'll find someone. And it'll actually be Ike Bogert who goes, or I don't know if his name's Ike, honestly. That was kind of racist. But we get the number 1 overall pick. And that's all that really matters, because here we will be taking the life changer in Zach Terrell. Obviously looks incredible. Elite strength, great speed, coming off of the edge. A block shedding, B finesse moves, A power moves, B to C play rec, A to B pursuit, A tackling, B hit power. This guy looks like the biggest stud of them all, and I don't think I've seen a better player in any draft coming out as a left end, just immediately going to be one of the best in the league, in my opinion. And I think that's what we really look for is a life changer like that, a number 1 overall. And I think that had to be the guy, right? So looking down the board now, Brandon Shepard has to be someone on my radar. This was my plan right here, to kind of try to trade up for him. B block shedding, C catching, B finesse moves, B hit power. Basically a stud linebacker that can play with B power moves and A to B power moves and B finesse moves. Obviously going to be a force off of the edge, so we'll try our best to get him. We'll have to go ahead and see who goes off the board, though. We're not going to risk anything off the dome, but Evan Chamberlain, I expected to go off the board. 2 of the best edge rushers in the draft. And then at number 3, Kamani Walker goes to the Dallas Cowgirls. And then Broncos take John Brackett, someone that I actually had an eye on. And looking at the draft board now, who's there, who's left, what's the deal? Percy Edwards, I love a lot. Whoever gets him, going to have a very, very talented outside linebacker. Henry Russell's still on the board. Dalton Buchanan can go. Deion Vick's very good at 6'3", 196, something you really like to see. Braxton Whitney and Michael Mitchell actually looks good, but we'll keep simulating and see who's really standing out here. Brett Castle goes earlier than I thought. Brett Castle is a force off the edge, and he will be for a while. Zach Golston goes now. And then Henry Russell off the board. It's a quarterback to the Jacksonville Jets. Yeah, that's right. Going up now, next pick, Michael Mitchell off the board, going to the San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers. My bad. And then down the board, Brandon Shepard's still there. Percy Edwards also still there. We'll simulate a pick, and hopefully it's Braxton Whitney. And we'll go ahead and try to make a trade up for our guy, Brandon Shepard. Even though Percy Edwards is still here, and he's supposed to be a top 5 guy. We're in the top 10 spots right now, but Brandon Shepard, I like a lot. And this is the deal right here. 2/3 and the first to move up 8 spots to number 10. Also get a 7th round pick. Like I said, if we're going to make trades, try to snag those the 7th round picks. You know, try to make our team a little bit better down the board with some UDFAs or some potential UDFAs. But Brandon Shepard, look at him. Physicals doesn't look like the best of all linebackers right off of the edge. It's fine. Like, if he's going to be off the edge, that's okay. I'm okay with that. B block shedding, C catching, B finesse moves, A to B power moves, B play reg, B pursuit, B hit power, C tackling, and looks like a stud. Gonna go ahead and take him off the board. It does have a hidden development. Love to see that. Hopefully one of these guys will be superstar X Factor. I think Zach Terrell has the highest potential of doing that. And then pretty soon here, we might want to move up again. I know it sounds crazy, but we have to. We have to move up for our guy, Eric Walker. We can go a few picks. I think that he might even have a chance to go off the board now, so it's going to be sketchy going and doing that. That's good. I think that they're fine at quarterback. I think that this team's also fine at quarterback until they're not, right? And then this team's very interesting at 14. We need Eric Walker. I know I didn't really emphasize that before or anything. We need Eric Walker. I'm going to try to make a deal. And it's a done deal. We do get rid of one of our second round picks, but that's fine. We don't need it. We just took 2 edge players, and the guy had planned to go at that spot just is an edge player, and we just don't need him. He looks good, but just don't need him. And we'll get number 14, which will be the pickup on the board, and also a 5th and a 6th round pick. Something I'm really excited for here. To make this selection a franchise guy with the name of Eric Walker at quarterback, runs a 4.4 40-yard run or 40-yard dash, great acceleration, great athlete, right? And then the throw power is only good, but I like that. That's fine. We're not going to try to stretch the field. We don't really have the guys to do that, right? But Eric Walker will be my guy. Hidden development, 93 change of direction, 90 speed. This guy's a beast. He's going to be the future of this franchise, no doubt in my mind. That will be the pick. And right here in this situation, I'd be fine just simming to my next pick and picking up who's there, considering there's no one that is just like the top 3 guys I just took. There's nobody like that here. I mean, there's a few good guys that I wouldn't mind, right? But Tyler Hamilton would be the only one that I really want. But we already got ourselves another corner in Trayvon Diggs anyways. Have Bobby Biddle behind him. And then at our corner 3, we got Jeff Okudah already. So we're pretty good. Jaden Hurts would be really good immediately. He's a stud. And a couple of other guys around here are good. But, I mean, I'd be okay simming down, and this would be another guy that I would think about right here. Looks solid. Dre Hilton's also really good, but traded for Madubuike. So, we got Madubuike in free agency. So Daniel Candidate is also there. So I think we're fine just simming down, although we could look at a couple of the next picks. We'll look at the top 20. And Juwan Abram actually goes next. Rhett Sweet, he's very nice. He's a very good-looking prospect. Dalton Buchanan finally goes. Denard Hopkins, the wide receiver that was highly touted. Sean Benford down the board. And at the 20th overall, Ben Rutland. Do like to see that. Keep going. Why not? Montel Moy, running back, looked to be the best in the class. Kyle Moss, someone I did like. And Darren Green there. Marquise Walker gets taken. Corner. Markel Carr gets taken. Looking up here, Braden Peralta. I don't know why I struggled with that one. Peralta. Tyler Hamilton finally goes to the Bucks right there. I was hoping just maybe he slides down. Charlie Franklin. And then we'll have next up Roland Dixon. Next up after that would be Jaden Hurts. Very solid player that they're getting there. Matt Banks looked to be the best tight end in this class. Trey Hughes goes, someone I liked. And then Trey Nickerson goes right there. Got to be careful with that one. I can't lie. But at this spot, there is someone I do like, and it is Tim Mooney. It's either Tim Mooney, or we can look down the board a little bit, find Jamel Chambers or Chad Ferguson. I think that we could trade down a couple of spots, a few spots actually. I don't need Tim Mooney. I have someone. I have other plans for another guy there. I know that might be, oh my God, you need an outside linebacker so bad. I don't need an outside linebacker really that bad. I think that we're okay trading down to, I mean, do I take, it's tough. I might have to take Tim Mooney. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might need him. Zone coverage is good. I mean, Tim Mooney could be the guy here. I think Tim Mooney, depending on how good of an athlete he is, great speed, 4.65, B block shedding, A play rec, C hit power is good. Just looking across the board, I think he's a good player. We'll take him. Hidden dev, 84 speed. I think we needed an outside linebacker. Now that I was like thinking about the scheme that we'd be running, we definitely needed him. So that was nice to see. That was very nice to see. And not a few guys supposed to go for a while. So I think I'm comfortable going, just simming to my next pick. I know it's crazy, but I think I am. There's a few guys I like around the spot that should be here. And if they aren't, well, I don't know what to tell you. Then I did the wrong thing by simming to the spot. But down the board, there should be a few people if there wasn't. So these two right here, Caleb Calloway and Taven Givens, also there. And yeah, I don't know who else to take here. I mean, we've got a few guys right here. Donnie Turner also somewhere around here if he hasn't already taken. He's a quarterback. I don't know. Donnie Turner, has he been taken? Looks like it, yeah. So that's too bad, but doesn't really matter to me. I also have wide receiver Claiborne. Who is that? Caleb Calloway, actually. So Calloway, someone that we could maybe take a little bit of a reach on. LaMarcus Walker actually also looks pretty good, but I think we can take Caleb Calloway a little bit further down the board. And then the guy I was talking about, Givens right here, and then there's also an interior guy. If he's still here, I don't think he is. I think he actually got taken. His name was John Turner, and I don't think he's here. So, probably in a trade down scenario. All right, so this is a deal right here. I don't really need Terrace Marshall. That's the thing. We're bringing him over. He could be a tradable piece or even someone that might get involved with the offense a little bit. But just trading the 2 4th-round picks that we have another one later. Daniel Jones for a next year 3rd and a this year 5th. So I thought that maybe that would be nice. And then I'm going to sim to my next pick. I think that's just what we got to do. And just a can't miss players on the board right here. I know it sounds crazy. This is good of a guy's down the board this much. A tackling, C block shedding, C man coverage, C injury, C zone, A pursuit. I mean, this guy's got a lot to like, especially in the 4th round. Don't care he has normal dev. I don't care. This guy's an absolute stud of a player. Not much of an athlete, but my God, can he play ball. And this is a done deal. Another receiver we don't need, but listen, I like Justin Ross so much through this previous draft process, and I just want to have him, all right? So let me have Justin Ross. Let's see who makes the roster. Let's see who does all that. We do get a second next year, which is actually crazy, but Jonathan Grenard is gone. I know it's crazy, but I mean, we just don't need him on this team. He just doesn't really fit along with what we're trying to do. You bring on Justin Ross, though. And this is a done deal. Isaiah Pacheco, pretty much just Isaiah Pacheco, Quintoriano, Garrett Wallow over, and we'll just grab Verone McKinley and a 4th next year and a 6th this year. Just making some trades, clearing up a picture for this team. See, my only problem now is, like, how many receivers did I want and need? I've got all these guys. What, they have to be traded. This is ridiculous. I regret signing Devin Duvernay now. But he's worth the most money in this receiver room. Jalen Darden, obviously, worth quite a bit too. But Devin Duvernay might have to go. I don't know if that sounds that crazy, but I just don't think it's realistic enough to trade him right now. I think that we can try to see who works out in the preseason and the beginning, like the first half of the season, and then by trade deadline we might see some of those guys go, like two maybe. But other than that, I think we have a lot of undrafted players to take because we have a lot of picks. And then looking at our draft board, and then go to favorites here. I want all these guys. That's 10. How many picks do we have? That's that's what I'm talking about. We have 10 on the dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 on the dot. Yo, I'm not you can't beat me. You can't beat me. That's really what it comes down to. And we'll start taking our guys here, and I'll let you guys know after the draft if anything happens or whatever. I'll start just picking all these players up, and I'll let you guys know. And the draft is over. We get to see the overalls. I'm going to cover my eyes. They should be there. I think they're there. Oh my god. Not as high as I thought these guys would be. I'm not going to lie. Brandon Shepard, 72 is very disappointing, but an 81 overall Zach Terrell is good. Cody Landry's a 67. I thought he'd be much higher. Joe Halen, these are the guys that I started to take kind of in the 5th round and kind of post potential UDFAs. Joe Halen's a 63, that's fine. Don Reedy, 71. 72, Rashad Curtis, that's cool. Lucas Hicks, a backup quarterback, 64 overall is not bad. Mike Levins here, 92 speed, and then 69 overall there as well. And then all the way down the board, some of these guys actually have hidden development as well. So a few guys to actually look for here, but I thought our top 4 or 5 would be a lot better. Tim Mooney obviously looks very good as well at a 75 overall, but I thought Cody Landry would be rated a lot higher. I'm curious why he's not. He is rated poorly. Hit power is very good. Finesse and power moves, that could be it, but just is not that type of player, is he? His zone coverage is not that great, so that doesn't really put him as anything. What is his... Okay, so he's actually a run stopper archetype. So, like, he can kind of just monitor the area. Like, he'll be better than Dion Gray immediately, though. Like, I don't care whether it's whatever it's called or not. I don't care if it's overall, if his overall is worse or not. But Zach Terrell, one of the best players I've drafted this year. 81 power moves, 82 actually. And then 76 finesse moves is insane. 85 speed's crazy. Look at his arms compared to his head. This guy is a beast. Monster, if you will. I mean, these guys, they came here to play, and they're going to play a lot. Eric Walker, our quarterback of the future. 72 overall, not bad. Hidden development. He's going to be a development. We're going to have to develop him. Medium accuracy is good. Short accuracy, very good at an 80. Deep accuracy at a 76 is also pretty good. 78 up throw on the run. He's got things to look at that are good. Throw under pressure, I don't know where that is. Under pressure is a 74. That's apparently like a B. So that's really good stuff. Obviously with the 90 speed as well. He's a big threat. And then he got 71 carrying, which isn't the best, but I mean, less likely to fumble than some of the other guys. He'll be the future starter, but he's not supposed to be a starter now, but too bad, really. And then Brandon Shepard. I don't know why he's so low. Maybe because he's listed at an outside linebacker, but 70 finesse moves, 81 power moves is what I was looking at. Oh my god, this guy is going to be insane off of one of the corners, one of the edges, along with rookie teammate Zach Terrell. And then Tim Mooney, obviously pretty good. Not anything too crazy, I would say. I mean, he's a good pick. Did hit on all the development traits, though. 61 zone coverage is fine as an outside linebacker, but does everything exceptional, I guess, but not to the point where you're super psyched to have him. I really thought Cody Landry would be a bit higher. But this guy right here, he has good stats, believe me. He's going to be okay of like a backup. And then Don Reedy, a really good backup in the 5th round. He found a 71 overall, 72 overall. Rashad Curtis, 96 speed. Yeah, we just need to get rid of some of our wide receivers. That really comes down to. And then this guy, Johnny Atkins, is really interesting. He does have hidden development. And then 78 tackle he'd be playing with if he were to play. So a very, very solid draft class. And we have a lot to look forward to in this next season. Simming to preseason week 1, we'll go ahead and look at the roster really fast here. I mean, a lot of improvements. I mean, it's very fair to say that. Eric Walker now, James Cook here, Jahan Dotson, Devin Duvernay, and then Terrace Marshall will actually be playing up to whatever. But I think we'll have Nico Collins. I like this a little bit, and then Devin Duvernay kind of fits in somewhere, and then we got to find a way to get Justin Ross and Terrace Marshall involved, and then obviously have the few rookies that we have. Then tight end, maybe have to trade for one. I could definitely maybe see some trades going on. Brevin Jordan, I just don't think is a really long-term answer. And then we need a tight end 3, no matter what. And then defensively, Tim Mooney here. I want Cody Landry to start. I really do. But I just don't think that will happen. We'll put Madubuike into the defensive tackle spot at 300 pounds. He's okay to do that. I think that he'll do it at a very... Wow, that's some news. Oh, wow. Katie explains trade requests. Okay, never mind. I thought he was talking that he wanted another trade request, so I thought Kevin Durant was out of the Brooklyn, but I guess not. Anywho, yeah, 2 good defensive tackles, I guess. Zach Terrell on the left edge, and then Rasheem Green right there, but that's not what it's gonna look like. We're gonna have Max Warwick and Madubuike in the inside, Shepard off one edge, Terrell off the other. Obviously have those two in whatever. And then, I mean, I like Nico Collins in the slot and all, but I just don't. I have him there. And then James Cook, third down back. Yeah, we got to keep him as the third down back. He's just too good not to. Another piece that I look to develop here on this offense. But yeah, we got the major acquisition of Jahan Dotson, someone I'm really excited for. I'm guessing his numbers are already really, really good. 93 speed, 95 acceleration, 88 catching, 86 catching traffic, 84 short route. So these guys, they're going to be good. They're going to be good here for us immediately. And I'm excited to see what happens up here in the next episode. It'll be the preseason episode where you get to see Hicks and Walker. You'll get to see Jerome Ford, James Cook play a little bit. We'll get to see Justin Ross, Jalen Darden, Colin Johnson, Terrace Marshall, all of our backup wide receivers that are probably not backup wide receiver caliber players. Jalen Petrie and everyone playing without morale, so we won't have anything really bagging on us there. And then I wanted to actually move Kevin Waddle to right outside linebacker. I think that's just the best thing that we can do. He'll still play sub linebacker, but I just think that if we're gonna be playing like this, especially with whatever his face not being Cody Landry, not being that good of an overall at a 67 right here, or 68 playing up to, we'll just use Kevin Waddle on the outside, but still have him as our sub linebacker. So when he's not sub linebacker, Blake Cashman will play or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things to look forward to. And I can't wait to start the next season as we have really revamped this defense and offense. Remember that. And we have some new weapons to look forward to using. Dameon Pierce along with James Cook. James Cook should be pretty good. Eric Walker. And then obviously our new receivers should be fun. So that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. It helps out a lot with the what is it called? It is called the whatever it's called, algorithm. Thank you. Oh my god. And then yeah, make sure to subscribe for more. We have the preseason episode coming up next, where you guys will be able to see all of these guys in action. It'd be fun. I can't wait. Yeah, that'll do it for me. Maybe some trades as well, by the way. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Leave a comment down below who your favorite rookie that I drafted was. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.